Greetings, movie lovers, and welcome to another episode of Movie Madness, your number one source for movies and more. I'm your host, Matthew Karsik from Of Karsik Films.
And I'm Matt Korn from Tundra Portal.
And we have a really big show for you guys. We have a lot of X-Men news today. And we have a big announcement at the end, so stick around for that. But first, let's just jump right into it. First bit of movie news. After much debate on whether the Assassin's Creed movie was even going to happen, the news has dropped that Marion Cotillard, I think that's how you say it, Cotillard, has been reported to have joined the film. Matt, what do you think about this casting choice and that there could be an Assassin's Creed movie actually coming?
Yeah, it's an exciting choice, and also 20th Century Fox on their Facebook page announced it as well. So that's how you get that's how you know that it's official and it's finally getting into production, and hopefully they're going to start filming soon. And I can't wait to see some screenshots. How about you?
Well, I actually had no idea they were thinking of making an Assassin's Creed movie. I don't know. I'm skeptic because it's based off the video game, is it not?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
And we all know how movie adaptations of video games go, so hopefully they do this right and it's not a complete disaster. I don't really have much thought on Marion because I don't recognize the name that readily, so we'll just have to see what happens. You got anything else?
No, I don't know much about the actress either, so yeah.
Alright. According to The Hollywood Reporter, mixed martial artist turned actress Gina Carano has joined the upcoming Deadpool film. According to the report, Carano will be playing the mutant Angel Dust. Matt, your thoughts?
Yeah, the bigger cast, the better. It's going to be interesting to see how this Deadpool movie fits into the whole franchise, and if it goes into X-Men and everything. Maybe even like a solo Wolverine movie. It'll be interesting. And I don't know. I guess, like I said, with the other news, I guess we'll just have to wait to see, screenshots and whatnot to kind of get a better understanding. What do you think?
I think it's great. Like I love all the news that's coming out about Deadpool. It seems like at least 2 bits of movie news comes out a week about Deadpool, which is great. I'm so excited for it. And Gina Carano had a role, I believe it was her, excuse me, where her, she was a great actress, but I think her voice was dubbed. I forget what movie it was. Somebody dubbed over her voice. Maybe it was because her accent was too thick or whatever. Oh, God, I can't remember the name of the movie. It's gonna kill me now. But, yeah, I think it's great. I can't wait to see it. And Gina Carano, she's not bad to look at either. Have you seen her?
No, I have not.
She's very beautiful, very gorgeous. So yeah, I'm excited about that. Totally. Anything else?
No.
Alright, breezing right along. Next bit of movie news. After years of delays, the 5th installment of I can't talk today. Take 2. After years of delays, the 5th installment of the Pirates franchise, Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Men Tell No Tales, has officially begun production. Excuse me. The film stars Johnny Depp, Jeffrey Rush, and Javier Bardem as the new villain Captain Salazar. The synopsis for the new film reads like this. Thrust into an all-new adventure, a down-on-his-luck Captain Jack Sparrow finds the winds of ill fortune blowing even more strongly when deadly ghost pirates led by his old nemesis, the terrifying Captain Salazar, escapes from the Devil's Triangle, determined to kill every pirate at sea, including him. Jack's only hope of survival lies in seeking out the legendary Trident of Poseidon, a powerful artifact that bestows upon its possessor total control over the seas. Matt, how are you feeling about this?
I'm excited for new Pirates of the Caribbean film. The only thing I can say is, as long as it's not a repeat of the 4th one, that's all I really, I'm concerned about because on Stranger Tides wasn't really the best one of the three, and as long as it's like 1, 2, or 3, it should be good. It's kind of sad that Orlando Bloom's not going to be in it or Keira Knightley, but it could still be a good film. What are your thoughts on it?
Well, I thought Orlando Bloom was gonna be in it because, like, every time I go into IMDb and look at it, it says Orlando Bloom is coming back.
Oh, great, even better. Then I'm not too worried. I know that.
That's just they haven't taken it down, so I assume he's reprising his role. We'll just have to wait and see because, like, even still, I love the Pirates of the movies. Not so much the fourth one because I felt it was very cut off from the first three. Like the first three was like a trilogy and like.
It was like spin-off.
Yeah, like there was nothing really tying them together. If Orlando Bloom does come back and reprise his role as William Turner, then I think that's really gonna bring him back. And I love what I'm hearing. I love the synopsis, and I think it's just perfect. Like I love he has to look for Poseidon's trident, and I love the ghost pirate aspect of it because we've had skeleton pirates, kind of like zombie pirates almost, and then we had like weird fish-looking pirates, and then we had just pirates. So like ghost pirates, that's gonna be interesting, and I can't wait to see Captain Salazar. Like, the only way it's going to be good is if Captain Salazar is more badass than Barbossa, Davy Jones, and Blackbeard put together. But Barbossa's kind of... he's not really a villain anymore. Like, in the first one, he was the villain. But in the second one, the third one, and the fourth one, he was kind of like...
his own guy.
I don't know. He wasn't really the villain, but he wasn't really the hero. He was the in-between guy.
Well, that's kind of how I think that's the way or to kind of tied into 3 because he was alive and everything, and he still wasn't the villain. It must have been after everything when he got revived and everything. So that's kind of how it takes place after 3. But I still feel like a spin-off.
Yeah. We'll wait and see, but I'm really excited because I love the Pirates movies. I could watch Johnny Depp as Captain Jack Sparrow all day, every day. And after, like, the last 2 movies he's made that have come out, like Mordecai and the, what was the other one? Transcendence?
Yeah.
Those didn't do so hot. So hopefully he can, get back up on that pedestal.
I will say, it'll be a cool movie to see an X Plus on Pirates 5.
Yeah. We haven't seen any Pirates movie in X Plus. X Plus wasn't even around.
No, I think 4 came out in 2011, and the X Plus screen came out like at the end of 2013 when Thor came out.
Yeah. I remember because we opened the X Plus for Thor. We wanted it open by the time Thor came out, so yeah.
Yeah, it was their opening day. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Alright, moving right along. Sorry, I have a stuffy nose for some reason. I just woke up with it. I'm not sick,
It's just the weather.
Yeah,
There's snow again today.
Shut up!
It's not my fault.
Alright, next bit of movie news. We've known for a while that the mutant Colossus would be making an appearance in the upcoming Deadpool movie. But what wasn't clear was whether or not Daniel Cudmore, who has played Colossus in the past X-Men films, would be returning. Cudmore recently took to Twitter and stated that he would not be reprising his role in Deadpool, and that the character would be recast. Matt, is this a Colossus mistake for Deadpool? I'm sorry, before you go into what you think, I had to throw that joke in because I was watching AMC Movie Talk, and that's what they said. That was the joke they threw out, Colossus mistake, and I thought it was cute, so I had to throw it in here. Alright, go ahead.
Well, the only thing is they recast a lot of actors all the time, and the X-Men and Deadpool, not just Deadpool and the X-Men series, like when you go from future past, and and especially with the X-Men Apocalypse that's coming up, they're recasting a lot of roles. So, it depends on how they do. I mean, it's not like they're recasting Wolverine or anything. That would be the big change. But I don't know. Well, like I always say, time will tell, and I don't think it'll be that bad. Honestly, we'll just have to wait to see how the movie portrays and what actor they choose and how they do it. What are your thoughts?
Well, there's a lot going on in my mind about this. First of all, I don't necessarily think he's a terrible actor. He was in the Twilight Saga, and in the X-Men franchise, he never really has a huge role. He's always a supporting actor, or just like, I don't know. He never has a big role, so he never is able to show us whether he's a good actor or a bad actor. So I don't think they're recasting him because of his acting ability, because we never really get much of it. So I don't think that's the case. Now, he is gonna. Colossus is gonna be in Deadpool. Now, when is Deadpool gonna take place? Is it gonna take place in the Patrick Stewart era of X-Men, or is it gonna take place in the 60s or 70s or whatever that Apocalypse is going to take place? So if they're recasting it, they might want somebody younger that's going to grow up to be who David Cudmore's character is. I really don't know. I liked him as Colossus. I believed him as Colossus, even though he wasn't a big part. I believed him. I'm like, okay, that's Colossus, even though Colossus is like German or something in the comics and like all the video games. But yeah, sure, David Cudmore, he's buff. He looks like Colossus. I thought he was great. I never had a problem with him. So why they want to recast him is beyond me. Excuse me. But we'll just have to wait and see what happens. Maybe I should take to Twitter and be like, yo, why are they recasting you, buddy? What's going on? I hate tweeting famous people because they never get back to me. Like, I know they're busy and people tweet them all the time, but come on. Help a brother out. I want to feel special. Alright, you got anything else?
No.
Alright. Next bit of news. More Deadpool news. After the announcement that Gina Carano was joining the upcoming Deadpool film, many began to wonder who the female lead of the role would be. Well, we now have that answer, as the Hollywood Reporter is claiming that Firefly and Gotham actress Marina Baccarin, I think. If I butcher these names, I apologize. Marina Baccarin has joined the cast. According to the report, Baccarin will also be the love interest for Ryan Reynolds' Deadpool. Matt, what do you think about this casting decision?
I don't know much about the actress, but it's kind of interesting to know that Deadpool's going to have a love interest in the movie, and I wonder how it's going to play out in the entire movie, and is she going to be, part of the, major plot, or, subplot? I don't know. I guess, time will tell. What are your thoughts?
I like the show Gotham, and I like everybody in it. I can't, for the life of me, place her name to a face. And I have IMDb already set up, so you guys don't have to wait. Let's look. Here we go. She plays Dr. Leslie Tompkins. I don't even remember who that is. She's been in 11 episodes. If I saw the character on the show, I'd be like, oh, okay. But shows how observant I am. But yeah, like I said, I think Gotham's a great show. I love Gotham, and I love everybody, all the characters and actors in Gotham. I think they're fantastic. So even though I can't readily identify her without probably watching the show. I think, based on my love for the show, that it's going to be great. We don't know if she's going to play a mutant or human. But I just feel like this Deadpool movie is revving up to be maybe one of the best X-Men films. Pretty close to Days of Future Past. Like, there's going to be a bunch of hype. What do you think?
Yeah, I just can't wait to see, the Deadpool movie, and, I think, is there going to be another solo Wolverine movie? I can't remember for the life of me. I know we had the one, back in 2013, but...
I think we might get another Wolverine movie. I know...
I'm also really excited for the X-Men Apocalypse, that's the big one.
Yeah. I know... I don't know if... I think it was either the last show or the show before that. Patrick Stewart was in an interview where he said he was he was really excited about a Wolverine Professor X movie. So it could be like... I have no idea. It could be like a standalone Wolverine film where we find out what happens now that he changed history. How did he get the adamantium back? Does he even have the adamantium back? What happened with Stryker and the base up in Canada and all that stuff. Everything has changed. So that might be the new Wolverine standalone. That's what I think. Anything else?
Nope.
Alright. In other X-Men news, the new X-Men film, X-Men Apocalypse, starts shooting in Montreal, Quebec, Canada in April, and the casting announcements keep flooding out. Director Bryan Singer has announced that everybody's favorite teleporting mutant Nightcrawler is returning to the X-Men universe and will now be played by Dawn of the Planet of the Apes co-star Cody Smith-McPhee. Matt, what do you think about this?
Yeah, it's exciting. Nightcrawler is such a really cool X-Men, and the fact that, him being recast, it could be a good idea, especially the fact that, it's going to be back, I think it's the 80s that's going to be taking place, X-Men Apocalypse, so I guess, and he's a really good actor, too. I did like that movie a lot that he was in. I'm really excited to see how it plays out, especially how he's going to play Nightcrawler. Yeah, I'm really excited. What are your thoughts?
I love Nightcrawler. I think his ability is amazing. I think his character is amazing. I love Alan Cummings' version when he did it in X2. One of the things I find funny is that he was in X-Men 2, X-Men United, and then he wasn't in X3, and people were like, wait, what happened to Nightcrawler? I played the X2 X-Men United video game for PlayStation 2. I think I have it. And in that video game, it tells Nightcrawler's story. I don't think you play as him for the whole time, but towards the end of the game, it shows how, if you remember in X2, Nightcrawler saved Professor X from the Cerebro that Stryker made and left his son Jason in there to die as the structure was collapsing. And the ghost of Jason appears to Nightcrawler and blames him for leaving him there. And it's too much for Nightcrawler to handle, so he leaves the mansion. So I think that was just a way to cover up for the fact that Alan Cummings wasn't coming back for X3. I forget the reason why he didn't come back. A lot of what I heard was that he wanted more money. But...
Well, they also kind of changed the universe with Days of Future Past, so I think it happened.
Yeah. But, I can't wait. I love Nightcrawler.
Technically, that might have not happened,
Yeah. Like, if I could teleport, that'd be the greatest thing in the world. I wouldn't even have to be bugging about a car. It's like, oh, time for work. Yeah, I'm here. You got anything else?
Nope.
Alright, so... Cody Smith McPhee, good luck to you. Alright. If you remember, District 9 Elysium director Neil Blomkamp released some concept art a while ago for an Alien movie he claimed he just did for fun. However, we now know it was much more than that. Recently, Blomkamp released a new image with the message, "So I think it's officially my next film." There's no word on what the film will be about or if actress Sigourney Weaver will have a role to play. Matt, what do you think about another Alien movie directed by Neil Blomkamp?
It'll be interesting. I haven't watched too many films. I've seen part of the first one, part of the second one, actually most of the second one, Aliens. And, Ridley Scott made this really crazy universe, and it's been really big, and he did Prometheus, which I think was pretty interesting, the fact that, they made a prequel in that universe. I don't know where it's going to fit in this Alien movie, and it'll probably, I think he said something about it taking place after Prometheus 2, I could be wrong. And I do like his films, District 9, Elysium, and I'm excited to see the upcoming chapter that he's working on, and I'm just excited for it. What are your thoughts?
I think he's great at creating different worlds, like with the Elysium world, the District 9 world. And he's very dark and gritty in the way he directs. And I think that's what we need from an Alien film, is more dark, more gritty. Kind of like the original Alien films. He's got a lot of the right stuff. Like, he knows how to create a world, but how will he do going into a world that already exists and already has a fan base where he has to do the right stuff in order to not screw up this world? I think he's got that, though. I think he's got all the right... Because if you look at Elysium, all the technology and stuff that's in Elysium, right? That's sort of like Alien-esque technology. So, like, I feel like he has the right stuff to bring into this pre-existing world and also make it his own at the same time,
I don't know if this is really going to make sense, but he kind of has the Christopher Nolan of science fiction where, everything feels real and analog. And, with Christopher Nolan movies, it's very, everything's really there. There's not a lot of special effects and everything. And with, like, when I saw, like, District 9 and Elysium, there wasn't, like, too much fantasy. It was more like science fiction. Things were actually there. And, I kind of have that feeling with that. So, you'll feel like, you're actually there. And there's actually these big worlds and everything.
Right.
That makes sense.
I think it would be great. And if he can get... Because he just did a movie, I forget the name of it, with Sigourney Weaver. Shoot. Give me a second. Chappie, the new movie coming out, Chappie. That's got Sigourney Weaver in it.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they were like behind the scenes kind of talking. So if he can get, and it feels like he's got Sigourney Weaver in mind because he did little concept arts with Sigourney Weaver as Ripley. So he definitely has Sigourney in mind. And I think you can't really make an Aliens film unless you bring Sigourney back. Because she's Ripley. I know they had that game that, I don't remember when it was released, but it was pretty recent, Alien Isolation. It was about Ellen Ripley's daughter, who goes through the same stuff. She's on a ship, the ship's broken down, and she's dodging aliens and stuff like that. So that's one way you could go, but I think the majority of us want to see the original Ripley back.
Right.
You got anything else?
Nope.
Alright, moving right along. Next bit of news. Well, it seems that J.J. Abrams' studio company, Bad Robot, is now getting into the biopic game. It has been reported that Bad Robot will be producing a film about Thomas Edison. Matt, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, definitely. I'm excited for that. J.J. Abrams did a really good job with Star Trek, and especially the upcoming Star Wars films. I'm sure it's going to be really great. And his company, he's done amazing stuff with that too. So, it's really interesting the fact that he's going from these crazy movies to a Thomas Edison movie, and it'll be interesting to see how it plays out. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are a little bit mixed because we know J.J. Abrams from Star Trek. Star Trek Into Darkness. We now know him for Star Wars. What was the other film he did?
His directorial debut, his first one was Mission Impossible 3.
There's that. So he does a lot of actiony stuff. He's getting into that sci-fi genre now, which he's already proven himself with Star Trek. What his studio's never really tried is biopic. Now, because they've never tried, we don't know. They could be really awesome at it. So, I think we'll have to wait and see. I'm excited for a Thomas Edison movie because, I love biopics. I love the history of it, and I think Lincoln is still my favorite biopic. I loved Lincoln. Lincoln was perfect.
Which one, Spielberg or The Vampire Hunter?
Are you kidding me?
I'm just joking.
I like both of them, but in terms of legit biopics, Spielberg's Lincoln. Yeah. I think it could be great. Although if Thomas Edison invents that light bulb and there's a fucking lens flare, I'm turning it off. Or even if it's at the theater, I'm walking out. Because we keep telling you, JJ, cut down on the lens flares. If this guy turns on his light bulb and there's a lens flare, I'm leaving.
You don't see any lens flares in the Star Wars trailer, so I don't think you really have to worry. I think he kind of understands that.
We better not see a lens flare in the Star Wars movie.
Well, I don't think you want to walk out of that.
I can't walk out of that. I'll be glued to the seat. It's like, oh, there's a lens flare. I'll have to just deal with it. But I think it could be great. I love biopics. So, I wish them all the luck in the world. You got anything else?
Nope.
Good. All right. Next bit of news. The director Zack Snyder surprised fans a couple of days ago and posted our first look at Jason Momoa as Aquaman. The words, "There is only one true king," accompany the tweet, as well as hashtag Unite the Seven, which is also on the photo. Momoa will first be seen as the character in Batman vs. Superman I'm a little dyslexic today. Batman vs. Superman Dawn of Justice next year, before teaming up for Justice League in 2017, and then his own solo feature Aquaman in 2018. Nat, what do you think about the photos? Did you see the photo?
Yeah. It's a really exciting photo. I'm a huge fan of his character from Game of Thrones, and I think he's going to do a great job as Aquaman. I can't wait to see the trailer. What are your thoughts?
It's funny because in the past, I've always, I've never really thought highly of Aquaman. I kind of felt like he had the same powers as SpongeBob. So, one of my coworkers and very good friends, who's a bigger movie buff than you and I combined, Dan, which we have to get him on the show. I've talked about him on the show before. He loves Aquaman. Aquaman's his favorite. And he knows the ins and outs of Aquaman. He's like, we got into it one time. Like, oh man, Aquaman's a bitch. Like, he's got the same powers as SpongeBob. He's like, have you even read the comics? And I'm like, no, I didn't grow up with comics. He's like, well, in one of the comic books, he throws a polar bear at somebody. And I'm like, what? This guy throws a polar bear at somebody? So, I'm really excited to see where they take him and how they make him a really badass character. I know I saw a video game where Aquaman takes his trident pitchfork thing. I don't know if it's a trident because he's Aquaman, but Poseidon has the trident. And is Jack Sparrow going to steal the trident from Aquaman? I don't know. I'm reading too much into it, but he stabs somebody with his trident and just throws him up and a shark eats him. I'm like, oh my god. This guy could be really badass, and that's what I'm hoping for. Is that Aquaman's gonna be badass? And looking at the picture, I wouldn't want to cross that in a dark alley. Are you kidding me? So that's my rant. You got anything else, Matt?
No, I'm excited. I'll just say that.
Yeah, it's exciting. I wonder if Dan's seen the picture.
I'm sure he has.
Probably. Alright, next bit of news. As we all know, Academy Award winner Jared Leto will be portraying the Joker in David Ayer's upcoming film Suicide Squad. I'm sorry, I can't look at David Ayer's name without being like, you know, throw your hands in the air. Oh, God. It's too early for me. All right. The actor hasn't revealed too much about the character so far, but in a recent interview he stated, quote, "I'm trying to gain a lot of weight. It means I have to eat every couple of hours, and I'm terrible at eating a lot." He went on to discuss his excitement for the difficult role, quote, "The opportunity to take on this nearly Shakespearean character. That's what the graphic novel and comic books are becoming, right? He's a beautiful disaster of a character. What a big challenge." End quote. Matt, what do you think about Jared Leto's comments?
I didn't know he had to eat so much to play this role. It's definitely interesting. I don't know.
I'll let you finish.
I really don't know. I guess, we'll just have to wait till he, gets in character and see what it's like.
I don't think he's trying to fatten up. I think he's just trying to beef up,
Yeah, because when you work out a lot, you have to eat a lot.
And he was, for his past roles, he was very, especially Dallas Buyers Club, he was, like, skinny. Like, no, beyond skinny. Like, I forget there's a big word.
Anorexic?
Nah, it's, like, past the point of anorexic, man. But, yeah, I think he's just trying to, beef himself up, not fatten himself up. The one thing that I don't agree with is that he says, "I'm terrible at eating a lot." Jared Leto, come to my house. I will show you how to eat a lot. Trust me. Oh, God. I wish I could be skinny, but I love food, and I have a commitment to food. I can't, it's kind of like a marriage, you got to be faithful. But he definitely knows that, especially after Heath Ledger, he's got some pretty big shoes to fill. And I think because he's aware of that, it's going to do him some good, because not only does he have to make this Joker his own, like the Jack Nicholson Joker was his own thing, Heath Ledger Joker was his own thing, now he's going to create something new, but at the same time sticking with the characteristics of the Joker that we love. And I love the phrase he used, he's a beautiful disaster of a character. I think that's kind of poetic and, like he said, Shakespearean in a type of sense. He's just such an iconic character, and he won, what was it, Best Supporting Actor last year? So I have all the faith in the world in Jared. I think he's going to be great. Because he's fully aware of the shoes he has to fill, and I think he's going to do his best and try really hard. So, what do you think?
Yeah, I think he's a good actor, so I think he'll do a great job.
All right. All right, our last bit of movie news. I don't know why I had to drum. After 50... I don't know why I wrote this. This is hilarious. Matt, you're going to get a kick out of this. After 50 Shades of Grey took the box office into its playroom, tied it up, and dominated it, writer of the popular books, E.L. James, is now seeking creative control over the sequel scripts and is currently in negotiations to write the scripts herself. I love the little, play on words I did with the box office. All right, Matt, what do you think?
Good for them. I don't know if I'll see 50 Shades of Grey, but I mean, if it's going to be a better movie, I mean, the first one that didn't do too well rating wise, so as long as it's better, I guess I'll say that.
See, I'm very torn.
Did you watch it?
I did watch it, and we'll get to that when we get to viewed and reviewed. So that's why I'm trying to choose my words carefully. I took one of my I took the 50 Shades Grey book copy of the book that my girlfriend has, and I read about a couple pages just to see, and I know that E.L. James isn't the best grammatically. There are a lot of grammatical errors in there. Plus, her writing really doesn't hit me like I guess it hits some women. It doesn't really suck me in the way she writes. And the reason why she's seeking creative control is because allegedly she was not happy. She was actually pretty pissed about how the first one turned out, how the script was laid out compared to the book. She didn't like the tone. She didn't like the direction. And she wants it to be faithful to the book. Granted, I think that's what a lot of people would want, but I don't think that she should write it. I think she's done her job. She wrote the book. She got people in love with the books. Let experienced Hollywood professionals write this script. It's difficult for me because it's not something I'm passionate about, but at the same time, I have all these ideas and thoughts that go in my head that I want to express. It's difficult, but that's. I'll get into it more when we get into viewed and reviewed. All right. Do you have anything else?
No.
Alright, moving right along. We've now come to that point of the show for random topic. This is how this works. Matt has a random topic for us. He is going to throw it down, and we're going to pick it up, and we're going to discuss it. So, Matt, what is the random topic for today?
Okay, this one's a little strange, but this year, some major movie studios signed a deal with Kodak, the company that makes film and for cameras and motion picture cameras. Signed a deal instead of going bankrupt, that they're actually going to start making more films or produce more film canisters and more film itself. So the company's not going to die out, and we're not going to run out of film. So we can, movie directors can continue to shoot movies on film.
What did you just say? You totally lost. All right, so a bunch of film companies. Let me see if I got this. A bunch of film companies made a deal with Kodak, the company that produces the little cameras and the film, the little canister.
And film, like right. Film stock.
Yeah. So they're apparently going bankrupt, but to keep them from going bankrupt, they're going to.
They signed a deal with movie companies, so they won't go bankrupt, because a lot of movie directors like Christopher Nolan, J.J. Abrams, and Quentin Tarantino like shooting movies on film. So they're gonna continue to make film.
Okay, so for those directors who like shooting on film as opposed to digital.
Yes.
Okay, I got you. I think that's nice. To help a company that can help you back, support it so it doesn't go bankrupt. I think that's nice, because I don't think bankrupt is the way to go. I think if you realize your company is failing, that nobody really, because I remember back in the day when you had to purchase a Kodak camera to take pictures, and then you had to go to the store, and you had to get that shit developed. Yeah. That was like a pain in the butt. But now we have cameras on our mobile devices, on our phones. We could just go click.
With like the motion picture one, I mean, it's hard to see now because a lot of movies are still shot in film. Well, not a lot of them, but a few, majority of them. But we see movies projected digitally now, so it's kind of hard to tell unless you look really closely. You can see little gray spots and everything.
Yeah.
Dots. That's how it works. Like, I think the last movie I saw in theaters that was shot in film was Fury. And the upcoming Star Wars is being shot in film, so that's a really big deal. That J.J. Abrams wanted to make sure Star Wars was shot in film because the original trilogy was shot in film, so that was a big deal.
Right. Yeah, I think it's great. And it really gives that classic touch to them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Nice. You got anything else?
No.
All right. Breezed right by that. Next, we've come to that point of the show for trailer breakdown. This is how it's going to work. We have a trailer for you guys, and we're going to break it down for you and give our thoughts about this trailer. I totally forgot to tell you to watch this trailer. I hope you watched it. Crimson Peak.
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. We're on the ball. Oh my god, this movie looks terrifying. First of all, it's Guillermo del Toro. He is a master filmmaker in my eyes. Master. He gave us Pacific Rim. He gave us Mama, didn't he?
I think so. I know he gave us Hellboy.
Yeah, Hellboy. I love Hellboy. This, and, a lot... See, here's... I got into a... not an argument, but I was talking to Dan about this. I think it was Dan a while ago. That back in the day, we had horror films like Freddy, Jason, Michael Myers, these guys in masks. Well, not so much Freddy. But like scary guys who would, just like chase you and stab you, and it was really scary. Then nowadays we've come into the demons and ghost type of era, and a lot of found footage stuff as well, like Paranormal Activity. There's others that I can't think of off the top of my head. This brings it back to like old school type of horror.
Yeah, you might find this interesting, but Guillermo, I can't speak today, Del Toro, actually was originally going to direct a third Harry Potter movie, but he was offered to do Hellboy instead, but he really wanted to do both of them, so instead of doing a third Harry Potter movie, Alfonso Cuarón directed the third Harry Potter movie, who directed Gravity. So I always found that interesting, like he almost did the third Harry Potter.
Wow. You just blew everybody's mind. But, and I love the cast. You've got Tom Hiddleston, who I can't look at and not think of Loki. That's how iconic his face has become. He's always going to be Loki to me. And hopefully this movie will change that. And we'll see him as Tom Hiddleston. Not just, hey, look, it's Loki. But he's doing very well. And I love Tom Hiddleston. And then you've got Charlie Hunnam in there, who I'm a huge Sons of Anarchy fan. He's got a British accent, so I don't know if he's really British or not. And then it just looks scary, and you've got that thing coming up out of the floor. That was terrifying. I'm like, I think this movie is going to be scarier than The Woman in Black, because The Woman in Black terrified me.
He's scary to watch next plus.
Oh my god. I think I might shit myself. But, like, I love being scared. I love horror movies. I love found footage movies, paranormal movies. I love being scared.
It just creeps me out too much, so horror movies. I mean, I'm sure I'm going to love Crimson Peak, but sometimes horror movies, like, scare me too much. It's like, makes me cringe.
I think it's really, like, a little bit of a recall to old-time filming, not, like, camera shaking everywhere because it's only one guy, and... Like, I love found footage. I think it's great. It has great opportunities for a bunch of jump scares, and you don't know what's going to happen. But, like, put the camera down. Keep it steady for a minute. Let us take in what's going on. But that's what I have to say. Matt, you got anything else?
No.
Alright. Here it is. It's time for that show called Viewed and Reviewed. Alright, how this works. Matt and I have either Matt and I have seen the movie this past week, and we want to review it for you. I went and I saw 50 Shades of Grey.
First, did you see Next Plus?
Of course I had to see it in X Plus. I shouldn't even had told my girlfriend it was coming in X Plus. I'm like, hey babe, guess what? 50 Shades of Grey is coming to X Plus, and she's like, oh my god, yes, so excited. I'm like, oh shit. So yeah, okay, let's take the whole bondage, S&M, sex stuff aside. Let's just put that aside for right now. As a story, it actually wasn't that bad. As people, like, this is coming from a guy who hasn't read the book. So if you read the books and you saw the movie, you obviously know the differences. And, you know, you either thought it was all right or you didn't like it. I get it. But I never read the books. I don't plan on reading the books. I got some insight from my girlfriend after, like, you know, oh, so what was different? Just so I know, I have a little bit of a reference for the show. But coming from a guy who hasn't read the books, the story felt all right. I was able to follow along pretty easily. It's about this girl, Anastasia Steele. She's covering for her roommate, who is a journalist. And she had a meeting booked with Christian Grey to talk about him. And she fills in. And, you know, that whole connection starts, and, like, they start seeing each other. And Christian really starts to open up about the kind of person he is in the sexual sense. And, you know, hot sex, bondage, hot sex. And then, you know, he takes her out on dates and stuff. Bondage, hot sex. So, yeah, it's actually... What really got me interested was Christian Grey's past. Because from what the movie has said and what from I've heard that's in the book, he's got a really effed up past. Like, it's very sketchy. And his past gets him into trouble with Anastasia. I'm not trying to spoil it for those of you who haven't read the book or seen the movie. But I'm really interested to see where his character goes. It's really not a horrible film. You know, it's an awkward film to sit with your girlfriend, your girlfriend's brother, your girlfriend's brother's girlfriend. We were on a double date. So it was a little bit awkward sitting next to these people watching a film that's primarily pretty much just about, you know, bondage and sex. But I really did get into the story and the plot. And I thought it was, as far as plots go, it was pretty well done. There is one thing that I did hear about, not just from a girlfriend, but from a customer, about the ending. Spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, fast forward or click off or whatever. I'll try to be super quick, but I'm about to spoil some. In the movie, Christian goes to punish Anna. And he has her lean over a table, and she's naked, and he whips her 6 times in the butt with a belt. And he has her count with him. And then she gets upset, she cries, and she leaves. In the book, it's much more worse than that. He, from what I heard, he pretty much, like, beats the shit out of her. And he's teasing her, and she wants to climax, but he won't let her. And then he just, like, pretty much tortures this poor girl, and then leaves. And doesn't let her climax. So, the movie is compared to the book, the movie is very watered down. This is the phrase I've been looking for this entire time. Very watered down. But from what I hear, in the book, Christian Grey is very much on the border of, like, domestic abuser and, like, just a really terrible guy. So maybe it's good that it's watered down. I don't know. Overall, I thought it was a pretty okay film. I didn't get bored at any point. I got invested into the story, and if you're horny, then it's the perfect movie to go to. I'm just saying. But it wasn't a terrible film. I'm gonna be that guy. It wasn't a terrible film. I don't want to... Yeah, I enjoyed it because of the stuff in it, but, and I'm a guy, so, but, like, It wasn't terrible. I enjoyed it. Judge me if you want, internet. Go ahead. I don't care. Matt, do you have any thoughts?
Well, I'm glad you liked it better than a lot of other people, so I'll just say that. I know it didn't do too well rating-wise, so...
It's not... Well, it did pretty good box office-wise, and we'll get to that in a moment. But
I did watch it, not... Yeah. I'm not sure if I'd watch it in theaters yet, so debating on that. But, there's a lot of other movies I still want to see, so I might move that under my list,
Yeah, I mean,
first.
I would check it out at some point. It's not terrible. It's awkward when you're with other people. If you feel like watching it alone, do that.
Yeah, that's the thing, when you're in your theater, it's no point going to the theaters to experience it with other people, but a movie like that just kind of, do you watch that in theaters? Do you kind of wait till it's like on DVD and Blu-ray and digital download?
I mean, if you were to go with, like, Ryan McRae and your sister, that'd be, like, pretty damn awkward.
Yeah.
But, like, if you just went alone and you sat alone, nobody else in the theater knows you, except me if I'm working, but I'm not going to judge you. Because, we're moviegoers. We have a movie show. We want to take in as much as we can. But, it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I always like to give every movie a chance no matter what, though.
Yeah, give it a chance. Except for those people who've read the books and are die-hard 50 Shades of Grey novel fans. If you go and see the movie and you think it's terrible, you have that right. But yeah, I'm getting off this topic now. We've now come to that segment of the show for Topic Attack. This is how this works. Matt and I both have questions for each other, but we don't know what the other one is going to ask us. And in 60 seconds or less, we have to give all our thoughts on the topic that is given, and the timer starts after the person reads the question. So I have a quarter in my hands, 25 American cents, and I'm going to flip it to see who asks the first question. I'm going to flip it now. Matt, call it.
Heads.
You always say heads, and it's heads. You go first.
Alright, this one's going to be pretty straightforward. Since the Oscars are coming up, which movie should win an award, and what should it be for, and why?
You're getting ahead of me. Okay. So you're just saying just best movie?
Well, Oscar for anything, best sound, best actor, just anything, like anyone.
Oh God, I really have to go back and look at the nominees for all that stuff because
even if it's not nominated, you can just say, why it should be.
I think the Lego Movie should have been a nominee because that was probably the best animated feature of 2013. Just saying.
2014.
2014, yeah, I lost a decade. I lost
That's
a year.
Okay.
American Sniper was really a great movie. I've never ever felt anything after coming out of a movie quite like I did with American Sniper. So I think that's going to do very well. It is a nominee. Best musical score, I really can't tell you offhand. Best biopic, do we have a biopic? Yeah, I think Selma would be a good biopic. I don't know if that's a category, but
Interstellar is nominated for best sound.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were saying that the sound was great. I think Interstellar will at least win that. Yeah. What was my time?
I think 50 seconds or 50. Yeah. Well, I kind of had to be underrated. So I mean, don't worry, you did fine. Don't
Okay.
worry.
I almost went over. All right.
Yeah, we almost got to a discussion before I looked at the timer. So.
Yeah. All right. My turn. Matt, my question for you. And it's a Star Wars question. And I know how much we love Star Wars. All right. The timer will begin after I finish reading the question. Do you think that the quality and love for the Star Wars franchise will be destroyed over the amount of films that Disney has planned to release? Go.
No, because Star Wars is a timeless film, and Star Wars. The first Star Wars came out, A New Hope in '77, and look what happened. It's a timeless film. I mean, even the special effects, they're practical, but they still hold up the time. So, even though there's so many Disney movies coming out, Disney Marvel movies and everything, even the spin-off movies, I think these canon films, they will live on for a long time, and that's what J.J. Abrams is trying to do. When episodes 8 and 9, Ryan Johnson, the director, I think he's trying to do the same. We'll do the same thing as well.
28 seconds. Yeah, I think, no matter what, you've got diehard Star Wars fans all across the world. And no matter how many movies they release, as long as they've got good stories, good directors, good actors, I don't think Star Wars... It's going to be like the Marvel Cinematic Universe. I don't see Star Wars dying in the near future. Even in our lifetime. I think Star Wars is going to go beyond our lifetime. Which is going to be sad because we're not going to be able to see it.
Even if Episode 9 is the last film, ever for Star Wars, it's still, the important thing is that it lives on, that's the important thing.
Are you kidding me? If Disney makes bank on these Star Wars films, they're not going to stop. It's like an addiction, right? It's a disease. They're going to milk this cow for every penny. And rightfully so. Yeah. All right. We've come to that part of the... Oh, sorry. Anything else?
No.
I always have to ask you, just in case you've got something brewing. All right. We've come to that segment of the show for Theater Story Time. Why did I say it like that? Okay. For those of you who don't know, I am an usher at a movie theater. And when you work at a movie theater, you come across some pretty strange characters, some pretty unique characters, and some pretty unique incidents. And today I want to talk about something that's really not unique. A lot of people have dealt with this at one point or another going to a theater. I want to talk about good kids versus bad kids. I've worked all week this week because it was February vacation for kids, and I think it's the perfect topic. I had 2 incidents that happened this week. Now let me talk about the good kids part first. I was on post, I was ripping tickets, and this little girl, couldn't be more than 5, right? She comes up to me, and this is exactly what she says, word for word. I can't make this up. She says, "Excuse me, sir. My mother is over there purchasing the tickets, but I really have to use the bathroom. Could you point me in the direction of the bathroom?" I'm like, "Oh, of course. The bathroom is, the ladies' room is right over there." And she's like, "Thank you very much, sir." And she goes to the bathroom, she does her business, and she comes back and joins her mother. I was blown away by not only the proper etiquette of this little child who is 5, no more than 5, but it's like, oh my God, there is hope for the next generation. This little girl just really made my day. She was so cute and sweet and just so polite. I'm like, oh my God, there is hope for the next generation. With that said, there's also those who I have no hope for. I don't know what happened. From what I heard, this little boy did not want to leave the theater. I was on post again. I was ripping tickets. And it was a pretty down spot. Like, not too many people were coming in, so I was just kind of standing there, really. And a theater was getting out. And I think it was either SpongeBob or Paddington. And I heard, screaming, "No! No! I don't want to go! No!" So I look over to where, the 8 through 14 sides are, and I see this little boy, again, no more than 5, dart across the hallway, just screaming, "No, no!" Past concessions all the way to the other side of the theater, just booked it. And his father was chasing after him, like, oh my God, this kid's making a scene. I couldn't help but laugh. I thought it was funny, but it's like, you're in a public place. Just control your child.
Oh, did you watch that video I sent you, the angry person or whatever in the theater?
No, I didn't know you sent it to. Did you send it through Facebook?
Yeah, it's this video of this guy freaking out in the theater.
I don't think I watched it.
Oh, okay. I'll just give you the story. Well, you can watch it after this too. I guess this guy had, speaking of kids, that's why I remember this. Yeah, I think he brought his daughter, his 4-year-old daughter, to see Alice in Wonderland back in 2010. So this video is really old. It's on YouTube. And what happened was, this 14 or 15-year-old kid put his feet up on a seat where the little girl was sitting, and like it scared the girl, and like he kept like shaking his feet and everything. So the guy got up and like got really mad at the kid, and they got into like a huge fight, and they had to stop the movie and turn the lights on and everything, get the police. It was crazy.
Oh my gosh. Well, we didn't have to get the police for this little boy, but
No. I mean, you know, because the father got mad at the 15-year-old kid, so you know that's what it was like. You know,
yeah. Kids, man. Like, I understand they're kids. They're gonna be kids.
You know, just like people, or you know, just like adults, I should say.
It's.
I think it could be partially a personality thing, and you know how you raise them. You know.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if that's entirely true, because parents do everything.
Yeah, some kids you can't control, you know?
Yeah, they're just, you know, whether they have, like, ADHD or they're, like, kids are very emotional. They don't care about embarrassment. They just want their feelings heard. They want people to know how they're feeling, and they'll do it any way possible. This little kid really didn't want to leave the theater. He was very adamant about that, and he made it very clear. All eyes were on him, because this kid booked it. And when I say booked it, I've never seen a small child run so fast. He booked it. His father could barely catch him.
Well, yeah, you know, that's how kids are. And I've got a story about when I was like a kid. I saw Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers when I was young. I think it was like, when they came out, like 2001. So I must have been
forever
like,
ago.
Yeah, like 9 or 10 or something like that. I can't even like remember, or like maybe even 11. But yeah, I remember when it came out, I was watching it, and do you remember that one scene when they had the flashbacks of the hobbits? I forget which one, and one of them falls and they almost get trampled by the horse, but then, like it cuts to like another scene.
Right.
Yeah. Like I thought like that hobbit got killed, so I told mom, I said, "Can we leave the theater?" Because I was scared, because I thought one of the main characters died or something. So I was like I didn't scream or anything. I was just so scared, like one of the main characters died. So I was like,
Oh, and to finish my story. So the kid books past me and goes to the other side of the theater. Inside I'm laughing, but it's not really funny. But inside I'm laughing, and I'm like, if this kid comes booking back and goes back to the other side, I'm gonna lose it. But his father, like, I guess his father caught him, and he had him like in his arms, like he's carrying like maybe like, I don't know, like a bag or something, like maybe a bag of seeds or something like that. He had him in his arm, and he just the kid's still hollering and kicking and screaming, and he took him out of the theater. That kid should talk to the little girl I talked to, and the little girl will teach him, hey, be polite. That's rude. So that's my story for the week. The end. All right. We've reached that part of the show for box office. We got some box office numbers for you today. Let me pull them up real quick. All right. Dominating, you see what I did there? Dominating the number one spot for this week was 50 Shades of Grey. This week it grossed $93 million in its first week alone. Matt's like, no, don't do that joke. And it's its first week, so its first week it grossed $93 million. Shooting in at number 2 is Kingsman: The Secret Service. I'm trying to put a lot of bad puns in there as I can. So Kingsman: The Secret Service, its first week it grossed $41.7 million. Bubbling in at number 3 is the SpongeBob movie Sponge Out of Water. This week it grossed $40 million, which brings its total gross to $103 million in its second week. Standing strong in number 4, still in the top 5, is American Sniper. It's its 8th week. This week it grossed $18.7 million, which makes its total gross $306 million. And taking the number 5 slot is Jupiter Ascending. This week it made $10.7 million, which brings its gross total to $33.8 million. Matt, what do you think about those box office numbers?
You know, I'm happy for 50 Shades and all, but I'll say this, one of my favorite films of all time is Tron Legacy, and when that came out the first week, it only made like $40 million. And, that's a sequel to one of the most classic films of the '80s. The original Tron, and this movie made like what over $90 million the first week. It's just...
I knew it was going to take number one, like without a doubt, because of the following it has. It had such a big hype. Everybody knew about this. I knew it was going to be number one.
Maybe when Tron 3 comes out, hopefully, make a bigger box office hit, and I'll be happy. Well, that was one of the first week for Tron, but I mean, it made like over $100 million, and totally, but it's just, but I'm still glad, at least Jupiter Ascending's doing well money wise. I still need to see it. I mean, I know it's not doing very well rating wise, but I haven't seen a Wachowski movie in theaters, and that's something I gotta do.
Yeah. All right, now we have DVD releases. DVDs that came out this week. We have Academy Award nominee Birdman, which came out this week. Birdman's got a 92% on Rotten Tomatoes. It is certified fresh, starring Michael Keaton and Lindsay Duncan. Rated R. So, there's that. We also have Dumb and Dumber 2, which didn't do too great according to Rotten Tomatoes, only at 29%, starring Jim Carrey and Jeff Daniels. That one's rated PG-13. We also got... Matt, what are you looking at? You're like all over the place.
I'm stretching, I'm sorry.
Next up, we have The Theory of Everything, which is certified fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. It's got a 79%, starring Eddie Redmayne? Is that how you say it? Eddie Redmayne, if I butcher it, I apologize. Eddie Redmayne and Felicity Jones. It's rated PG-13. Another one which I was kind of surprised about, but kind of not. The Interview is now on DVD. That one got a 52% on Rotten Tomatoes, so it's not fresh, certified fresh, and for good reason. But it's still hilarious. I recommend it to people who think they can handle that type of movie, starring Seth Rogen, James Franco, rated R. And the last movie that came out on DVD this week was St. Vincent, which is 77% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's certified fresh, starring Bill Murray, Naomi Watts, and Melissa McCarthy. It's rated PG-13. That one looked pretty good. I didn't get a chance to see it. Alright, real quick, I added a new segment. It's not really a big deal, but going on with the releasing, now showing. Opening this week, we had Hot Tub Time Machine 2, starring Craig Robinson, Rob Corddry. Is that how you say it? I hate names. It's got a 17% on Rotten Tomatoes. It's rated R. We also got The Duff, starring Mae Whitman and Robbie Amell? Why can't people have regular names? Alright, it's rated PG-13. It's got a 64 on Rotten Tomatoes. It looks really good. I really want to see Duff. And then we also got McFarlane USA, starring Kevin Costner and Carlos Pratt. That's rated PG. That's got a 76% on Rotten Tomatoes. That also looks good. So I'm really excited for the Duff and McFarlane. What I love about Rotten Tomatoes is that I have it on my phone, and they send me emails and notifications whenever new movies come out. And I remember yesterday I got an email from Rotten Tomatoes saying that Hot Tub Time Machine 2 is unfunny and juvenile. I'm like, alright, thanks for the update. But yeah, go check those DVDs out if you want to. You can find them at your local store that sells movies, like Walmart or even Redbox, if it's on Redbox. I know that The Interview is on Netflix, so save yourself the money. Just watch it on Netflix. And yeah, go see The Duff, McFarlane USA, and if you want to, Hot Tub Time Machine 2. You might find it unfunny and juvenile. Alright, we've reached that part of the show for Netflix Pick of the Week. And this is how this works. Matt and I will work together to find out what show or movie on Netflix is worth noting for the week. This week is a movie called Sci-Fi Side. Matt, tell us a little bit about it.
Sure, it's a movie that came out in 2012, and it's actually a documentary. It's about the, side by side, it's actually comparing film versus digital, and technically it stars Keanu Reeves. I don't know if documentaries can star people, but so it's just Keanu Reeves interviewing many filmmakers like James Cameron, George Lucas, Martin Scorsese, all really big names that you see, and even David Fincher, and they talk about their experiences with film and digital, both shooting on film and projecting on film. So it's definitely an interesting one, and going back to our random topic discussion with Kodak, that's why I wanted to bring it up. If you have Netflix, you should definitely check it out, because if you don't know much about film or how people shoot movies and how the transition from film to digital started out, then you should definitely give the movie a watch, especially even if you want to get a better understanding and the perspectives of the movie directors of a lot of the movies that you like to watch. So I'd say definitely check it out.
Yeah, I'm surprised I haven't heard about this. And yes, I think a documentary can star an actor. Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say he's the star of the show, but he's definitely the host if he's interviewing.
Yeah, he's the host. Yeah, that's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I'll probably check it out. That looks very interesting.
Yeah, and George Lucas even talks about this is because it's kind of ironic.
Matt,
if you think about it,
Matt, remember last week's rant about George Lucas?
No, but this is different. The ironic thing is that we talked about film is the documentary came out in 2012, so it was before this. But episode 2 of Star Wars, the Attack of the Clones, was the first movie to be shot digitally, and they actually talk about this in the documentary. And it's kind of funny because that's what started the digital cinema trend. A lot of companies realized, hey, we can save a lot of money by shooting movies on digital, and then even if we have to print it on film and show it in film, we can still shoot movies digitally, and we don't have to, process film. And they talk about this, George talked about it in the documentary, and a lot of filmmakers do. And the reason why it's ironic is because, Episode 7 of the new Star Wars movie is being shot in film. So they're going from, digital with the prequels, and then Episode 7 is being shot in film, and so forth. So that's why I thought it was pretty ironic. Yeah, wait, I know you haven't seen the documentary yet, Matt, so I say, definitely check it out.
Yeah, I would recommend that. That sounds really interesting, because not only is it, I don't know, I know a lot of people hate, like, the special features on DVD, but I love the special features. I love learning how they do it. I love learning the experience of it and stuff like that, and this sounds like just a really big special feature.
Yeah, it's I think you'll like how the big change from film to digital, and you're gonna see a lot of directors fight, saying, oh, film is better, oh, digital is better because it saves you a bunch of money. But honestly, I think it's about personal choice, and you'll definitely see that in the documentary.
Well, you have me at directors fighting. That sounds very entertaining. All right, yeah. So guys, go check out Sci-Fi Side. It's on Netflix right now. I definitely will. That sounds great. All right, we've reached that part of the show for mailbag and tweets. We don't have any.
Soon we will.
Soon we will. Yeah, guys, tell us how we're doing. Do you like the show? Do you not like the show? We take all criticisms. And, at this point, we'll take anything and we'll put it on the show. We'll give you your moment in the spotlight. Alright. Alright, announcements. I've got a couple of big announcements, and one pertains to Matt and I. Tomorrow is the Oscars. And I just found out, 2 days ago. I thought we had more time, but I have been working very hard, and Matt and I have quite a big show for you tomorrow. If you guys tune into the Oscars, also go on your laptop and tune in to Movie Madness tomorrow, where Matt and I will be doing our first live broadcast. It is going to be called the Live Movie Madness Oscar Special. And it's going to be great. And I've got a bunch of ideas that Matt and I are actually going to discuss after the show. And oh my gosh, it's going to be so much fun. I'm really excited for this. Matt, are you excited?
Yes, I am very excited.
That's it? Come on. I know the emotion's building up. Let it out. It's okay. Just scream at the top of your lungs if you have to.
Yeah, I'm really excited. We haven't done a live show yet, so...
All right. Oh God, I love you, Matt. The next announcement I have. I do a lot of film work for a couple bands, and one of the bands that I really love is called The Fellowship of the King. It's an Elvis Presley tribute band, and it's made up a bunch of my friends and coworkers, and they're really good. And if you live in or around the Worcester area, we're gonna be playing there, and you'll see me. I'll be recording, and you'll see the band. They're really great, and we really want to sell this show out. So, Fellowship of the King will be performing live at Beatnik's on March 22nd. The address for this place is 433 Park Ave in Worcester, Massachusetts. So if you want to come, if you're a big Elvis fan and you want to come check them out, I highly recommend them. They're really good. They're not like Elvis impersonators. We don't have tassels or like white suits, but they've got the voices and the music, and they actually play instruments. All right, they're a full-fledged band, so come check them out. They're really good. I'll be there. I know nobody really cares. But yeah, Matt, do you have anything else?
I don't think so.
Nothing?
Nothing new, not recently, no.
Alright. Before I go on, just once again, tell everybody how excited you are for tomorrow.
Very excited.
Oh my god. I love this kid. Alright. We've come to that point of the show before the closing for shout out of the week. I really should put shout out of the week before announcements, because I feel like announcements should come before the closing. I'll figure that out. But this week's shout out of the week is a YouTube series called The Poltergeist Diaries. Now, I really wanted to give these guys a shout out because they're a low budget group, I guess you could say, an organization. There's not very many people. Like, it's pretty much like a found footage type of thing. But they're really good at it. It's like nothing I've ever seen on YouTube before. Like, I've seen like people try to do ghost things, and these guys are actually really good. Like, this could actually be a movie. What it is, it's revolved around this one man who is experiencing poltergeist-esque events in his house, and he ends up moving, and his girlfriend comes to live with him, and they call in a bunch of experts, and things go wrong, people go missing, and it's actually pretty good the way they conduct their shows. It's in episode form, but they just recently released all the episodes on one big video. So they're really good the way it's very artsy. It's not just like jump scares and stuff like that. It's very artsy. And it's a very good series. I highly recommend it. Right here on YouTube, The Poltergeist Diaries. I'll put the link in the description below. It's gonna be great. Or it is great. How excited are you?
Very excited. Yeah, I've seen, I think the only one I've seen on YouTube is, it's called Marble Hornets, and it's kind of like a Slender Man thing, where these people, they have, like, old, like, mini DV cameras and stuff, and they kind of go around, and they look around, and they go to, like, abandoned areas, and they find Slender Man and stuff, and it's kind of like in a found footage kind of sense, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'll have to check that out. What's it called?
Marble Hornets.
Marble Hornets?
Marble Hornets. I'll send you a link, don't worry.
Yeah, send me a link. Because don't nobody understand the words that are coming out of your mouth.
Sorry, I mumble a little bit.
Alright, well, that's it for us, guys. Thank you so much for watching. You can find Movie Madness on Facebook. Just type Movie Madness in the search engine. You can also find us at Twitter at movie__madness. Remember, _ is key. I talked about this last week. So, at movie__madness. You can also find us on Tumblr, Movie Madness Podcast. You can also email us at moviemadnesspodcast1@gmail.com. Be sure to subscribe, comment, like, and share. I'm Matthew Karsik from Karsik Film Studios.
And I'm Matt Corner from Tundra Portal.
And we will see you tomorrow for our live Movie Madness Oscar special. And we will see you next Saturday for a brand new Movie Madness. And cut. Wait! Don't click away just yet. I have some very important info that you need to hear. First off, let me introduce myself. I am Matthew of Karsick from Of Karsick Films and Of Karsick Film Studios. I am also one of your hosts for the podcast Movie Madness that you can see right here on YouTube. And I have some big news for you. If you're like me, you're really excited about the Oscars tomorrow, right? Right. Well, I and Matt have a big show planned for you guys tomorrow. If you're tuning into the Oscars, also go on your computer and tune in to Movie Madness Podcast right here on YouTube. And we will be doing our first ever live, one-on-one, real-life people broadcast right here on YouTube. It's going to be our live Movie Madness Oscar special. And we have a big show planned for you tomorrow. We're going to be taking your live Twitter questions. We're going to be talking about the actors and what they're wearing in the interviews on the red carpet. We're also going to be filling you in on some of the predictions we have about who's going to win what. And when the show really gets kicking into gear, we're going to have a contest. Me and Matt are going to put our predictions together and we're going to see who was right in what category. And at the end of the show, we're going to see who had the most correct predictions and that person's going to win. What we're going to win, I really have no idea. I didn't think that far ahead. I only found out about the Oscars like 3 days ago, so I had very little time to prep. But that's beside the point. If you're looking for some entertainment, besides the Oscars, tune in. This is going to be the place to be. We don't know what's going to happen because it's live. It's not pre-recorded like our other shows where we record it and then we put it onto YouTube. This is recording as it's going onto YouTube. So anything could happen. So tune in right here tomorrow, Sunday, February 22nd at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. That's East Coast time for those of you not East Coast, out there. And it's going to be a great show. We look forward to seeing you guys. We look forward to taking your live Twitter questions. If you want to follow us right now, you can go down here to @movie_madness. That is key. You have to put the double underscore there. It really messed me up when Matt first made the Twitter account. So go here, @movie_madness. Follow us and get ready to tweet us live. And when you do tweet us live, we'll put your tweets in the show. Live, in the show. Live tweets. Live. I can't stop saying live because it's going to be great. It's our first ever live show. I'm so excited. Hang on. I got too excited. How's my blood sugar? Does anyone have my blood sugar thing? Okay. No, I'm good. Alright. Sorry about that. Yeah. Tune in tomorrow for our live Movie Madness Oscar special. It's going to be great. You guys are going to have a good time. Okay, now you can click away. You can go to watch, whatever you want, whether you're watching cat videos or people falling down or, I don't know, what's popular? Gaming channels? I don't know.
Or if you're going to watch porn, that's cool too, I guess. You know, if you're into that sort of thing. I'll see you tomorrow. Go ahead, click away.